The Children's Story Bible by Catherine Voss, Chapter 10, Part 2, The Flood. When they all were safe in the ark, God shut the door. Then God sent the rain. You have never seen it rain like that. It did not come down in drops, it poured down. The Bible says, God opened the windows of heaven, and the fountains of the great deep were broken up. Soon all the land was covered with water. The terrible rain came down in torrents from the sky, and the great tidal waves rose up from the ocean and swept over the land with terrific force and swiftness, carrying everything before them and covering the land many fathoms deep with water. All the wicked people were swept away with the force of the flood and drowned. The flood rose higher and higher for 40 days and nights, more than a whole month. The rain kept on pouring down in torrents. Tidal waves came up from the sea and swept over the land. The waters bore up the ark, lifted it up above the earth, and floated it upon the waves. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. At last, even the tops of the high mountains were covered, and the waters rose more than 20 feet above the tops of the highest mountains. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heavens, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. The ark sailed upon the waters. When Noah and his family looked out of the window, they could see nothing but water. Water, water, water everywhere. At last, after 40 days and nights, the rain stopped. For 150 days, the water covered the earth. Slowly it began to go down, but still no land could be seen. For 5 months, whenever the people looked out of the window, they could see nothing but water. At the end of the 5 months, the ark, as it floated, struck something underneath. It was the high mountain called Ararat, and the ark rested upon the top of the mountain. The waters kept on going down. After 3 months, upon looking out of the window, they could see the tops of the mountains. After that, Noah waited for 40 days longer, more than a whole month. Then he opened the window, and he sent a bird called a raven out of the ark. The raven, being a very strong bird, flew to and fro and did not come back to the ark. At the same time, Noah sent out a dove to see if the waters had dried up from the earth, but the little dove was not so strong as the raven, and she could not keep on flying all the time without any rest. She could not find any place that was not covered with water where she could rest. The dove flew back again, and Noah put out his hand and drew her into the ark. Noah waited a week longer, and then he sent out the dove again. At evening she came back. In her beak she had an olive leaf that she had picked up from some olive tree. Then Noah knew that the waters were going away from the earth. He waited a week longer, and then he again sent out the dove. This time she did not come back at all. So Noah knew that she must have found some dry place where she could stay. When Noah was 601 years old, in the first day of the year, he took off the covering of the ark. He looked out and saw that the earth was dry. He stayed 2 months longer in the ark, till the earth was thoroughly dry. When Noah went into the ark, he was 600 years and 2 months old. He stayed in the ark just 1 year and 10 days.